Hello again, we are live, and hello to everybody. This is Gabriel with right here, ODE, Online Digital Education. It's a group on Facebook, and it's all about great people who actually share experiences, collaborate with each other so that everybody can succeed, And today is Saturday. Today is June 26th, and this is episode 141. And it's titled, Overcome the Fear of Failure with NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. This is what I do. So, overcoming failure, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of just about anything. It's all based on, something that happened, an event in our lives. And, having to be able to address that is also fearful for a lot of people. So, we want to be able to look at that and give you some tips so that you can actually start to feel empowered, so that you can give yourself an opportunity to actually get rid of the fear, overcome your fear of failure. So let me start you off with my disclaimer, which to me is important. Let's have full transparency here. Please note that this is not for those who continuously make excuses or are expected to get rich overnight. There's no get rich quick formula here. There's no false guarantees. There's no false promises. This is an opportunity to be part of a high quality mastermind that I'm a part of as well. And I get an opportunity to guide you towards your mental success. And that's a great place to start. But it takes work, it takes commitment, and it takes dedication. So if this is not something that you're willing to put in, then this is not for you. And that's okay. And if you're looking to start and then quit in the next few weeks or months just because it takes work, then you're better off doing the same stuff you've been doing. And this is definitely not for you. And again, nobody's going to get mad at you at that. So let me give you a quote that I really enjoy providing an opening quote here. This is by Tim Fargo, and he is an American author, keynote speaker, angel investor, and entrepreneur. He said, "Confidence is what we get when we take the fear, face it, and replace it." And there you go. We have to face our fears to be able to replace it with confidence. And confidence is the end result. We learn from that mistake or we learn from that fear, and then we just start to feel confident. And it's true, though, facing fears creates anxiety, right? We start to get anxious. We start to hyperventilate. But if we take a breather and we take a good look at what we fear, we start to understand that it's just another learning curve. So therefore, we can actually push ourselves a little bit, stretch ourselves to overcome that, because usually success is on the other side of that fear. So how to overcome the fear of failure is what I want to talk to you about today. Failure has touched the lives of everyone at some point, every day, okay? Because of this fact, you know how horrible it can make you feel. No wonder, you strive to avoid it at all costs. But the problem is that this fear of failure can become one of your biggest life fears. Fear of failure is a fear of the great unknown. It's like having faith. Having faith is a great unknown. We have faith in that which we cannot see or understand, but yet we have faith. The same thing with failure. It's the fear of the unknown. So instead of having fear, have faith. You don't know what's truly out there, and so you're scared. You might even be tempted to give up entirely in order to avoid failure. You soon realize that you're not trying at all, and this is the ultimate failure because there is no way to win without trying. So ask yourself this question: how can you overcome this fear and gain the confidence you need to seek the life that you desire? Well, I want to provide you some tips on that because, this may help you start to understand how to overcome your fear. Number one, you want to imagine the worst case scenario. And that's a good practice because you don't actually have to live it. You just imagine it. Of course, you should spend this time imagining everything turning out well. And that's the end result. The end result has to be a positive outcome. But it actually helps to imagine the worst case as well. This is because while horrible, imagining the worst case gives you a face to that fear. You get to look at that fear and be like, okay, I see what I'm afraid of. Your fears are then no longer the unknown. You gave it a face. You can give it a name. And they may not even be quite as scary as you thought they were in the first place. When you figure out the worst case that can happen, okay, you just might realize that the most a failure can do is delay your ultimate goal. But if you can figure out how to get past this possible delay, you're back on track. So let's talk about number 2. You take a bold action. This is interesting because a lot of people, they overcome their fears by actually just jumping in. Again, blind faith. The fear of failure can hold you hostage. When you take bold action, you're able to learn from your mistakes so that you can continuously move forward. And this is a very good way of, again, facing your fears. Just jump right in, 2 feet in, deep dive, base jump if you have to from the highest peak. But a lot of people, overcome their fears by doing this as well. So you can imagine it, the worst case scenario. You can work it out in your mind without actually being in that real situation. Or you can just be bold. You can just go ahead and get in there. The next thing you can do is talk to successful people. Ask them about times that they've failed or the times that they felt a fear of failure. Every successful person has gone through a failing state to be able to get to that successful state. It's likely that they were afraid too, and that they've even failed greatly before reaching success. And that's usually the case. Knowing that you're not alone can be quite helpful. And believe me when I tell you, you're not alone. On a daily basis, I get my own personal fears, and we fear a lot of things, okay? And at different levels, different degrees of intensity. But you look at that fear, you pause yourself, and you take a look at it, and you ask yourself empowering questions. What is the worst case scenario, What can really possibly happen if this happens? Or take the bold leap, talk to successful people. And the next thing that you can do is utilize affirmations. Now, a lot of people feel like, affirmations, positive talk, inner talk, that doesn't work for me. Well, you have to try to understand that with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, your subconscious is already pre-programmed to reject positive affirmations. So we're not aware that we're saying these things because it's automatic. But you have to retrain, you have to reprogram your brain or rewire your thoughts to be able to start accepting, positive affirmations. And when you do, it becomes a good habit, just like we make the habit of being negative. So use the help of affirmations in order to change your mindset about your fears. Affirmations can help you reprogram your subconscious mind so that you believe you'll succeed, which will encourage you to take action. And to make it happen, you actually start to have that deeper faith in yourself and you start to make things happen. And lastly, know that you'll try again. Every time you try, you just get better and better at what you're doing. So the fear becomes less and less. Tell yourself that. If you're face to face with failure, you will pick yourself up and try again, no matter how many tries it takes. Then follow your plan and keep doing your plan. Don't stop or quit on yourself. Affirmations are an amazing thing. For those who want to, just start off with self-belief, inner talk, till you're ready to actually hire a life coach or get some empowering therapy. That's one of the better ways to start. It's non-evasive and you're only speaking to yourself in positive terms. So it's no different than praying. The only big difference is that, in praying, we're asking God to do the work for us. That's not what prayer is all about. You want to be able to affirm. You want to be able to pray and say, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to try so that I can, realize my dreams. And not only that, but just Get rid of that fear. So don't be afraid of help. That's another big fear that people have. They're afraid of asking for help, quality help, good help, knowledgeable, experienced help. Since the fear of failure is so common, there are many people around you that you can talk to about the subject. There's just so many. But you want to be able to talk to people who have gone through similar failures so that you can actually say, okay, I understand that perspective, and I'm going to try it that way, And again, using your imagination with a worst case scenario. This way you don't have to actually live it. You just imagine it. And then when you get to the point that it becomes real, you've already practiced that scenario. So you have something that you can work with, something that you can expect yourself of. You can be bold, jump in there, base jump off of the fear and just like jump on it, pounce it and get rid of it. You can talk to successful people. You can do affirmations. All these things are really awesome. Since the fear of failure is so common, there are many people, like I said, that you can talk to. You might feel like you're alone, but you're not. Discuss your issues with a trusted friend or use services of a professional, NLP practitioner like myself. There's a lot of life coaches that are available for that purpose. And I say life coaches because life coaches are quite knowledgeable in this practice, in overcoming fears, without you having to deal with extensive therapies that will have you, mulling over the same topic of fear instead of looking for solutions. NLP will help you replace that feeling of fear with a feeling of confidence. And it's very non-invasive. It's something that you learn and you can practice on your own forever. Every time you have a fear, you just go back to that learning experience with NLP and you can just really snuff it. Sometimes just having someone to listen and understand you can make your fear seem like less of a burden. It can help you get into the positive mindset, which is the first step. Okay, you'll need to take in order to tackle your fear of failure head on. A positive growth mindset. For the long term, after you've mastered your fear of a particular situation, keep at it. Don't stop. Keep at it. This just really reinforces your positivity over the long term. And stay on top of your fears, any fear that happens. The key is consistency and positive thoughts. Remember that there are always lessons to be learned on your journey. Even if you failed, failure is a great thing. Failure is the path to success. It's the learning curve. So keep at it and good things will come. I'm giving a free 5-day series on self-esteem and self-confidence. It's a 5-day one-on-one workshop, to help you experience NLP. On day 1, you will learn appreciating your strengths. On day 2, you will learn affirming and accepting who you are. On day 3, you'll learn eliminating negative self-talk. And on day 4, you will learn eliminating toxic relationships. And then on day 5, you're going to learn affirm others. Okay? My greater purpose here is helping everyday people realize their magnificence with empowerment thinking for success. Book your discovery session with me today and receive, a 10-week purposeful package to empower your life with. Or take on my one-on-one session for free, 5-day free workshop one-on-one so that you can experience NLP. The goal of life coaching is to give people a positive outcome by rebuilding their BS, optimizing their confidence, and monetizing their own online educational experience for success. I want to go back and say and reiterate here BS. I'm not talking about that BS that you thought about. I'm talking about your BS belief system. We believe certain things that can be irrational, and a better perspective, a new BS, can help you understand how to overcome your fears. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Empowerment thinking for success will help you realize your success in personal wealth, health, and make you wiser as you start to live a magnificent life of abundance. And I really mean that. Abundance, because we all have life experiences as educators, and you can monetize that. And this is the 21st century, the digital era. So you can actually, earn 5 figures. You can actually earn 4 figures, start with something small without quitting your daytime job. And you can start to offer solutions to people who need or want what you have to offer as an experience. So take a shot at yourself and learn how to monetize that experience after you get your mind right. Remember, you're magnificent. I believe you're magnificent. You should believe you're magnificent. Let me know, leave a comment, or visit me right here at ODE, Online Digital Education. It is a group on Facebook of people, great people. We just collaborate and share. We share a whole bunch of great knowledge, so that everybody can succeed and rise up. Don't keep yourself in fear and then fall back. Life becomes tough or tougher because of that. So leave me a comment on my news feed, leave me a private message on Messenger. I respond to comments and messages every day. And I really look forward to reading them. I also look forward to seeing your success and interviewing you live on the ODE group. That way you can share your small wins, big wins with people who may be experiencing the same kind of fears that you've had. My personal goal is 688,000 people over the next 5 years. I would just love it if you were one of them. So come on by and leave a note, leave a message. So this is Gabriel again, and I'm signing out with ODE, Online Digital Education. It's a group on Facebook, and this is Saturday, June 26, episode 141, Overcome the Fear of Failure with NLP. And remember, I'm providing a 5-day, workshop one-on-one on overcoming fear to help you out. Take advantage of that. It's a free workshop. I'm entertaining 20 people a month on that this month of July. I look forward to hearing from you so that you can take advantage of that as well. Thanks again. You guys have a great day, and God bless.